Elon laid off tire supercharging? I saw this. It's insane. It's truly crazy. Supercharging is like the feature for Tesla. Their network of superchargers is like what differentiates them the most. Many people have said they bought a Tesla because the convenience of the nearest supercharger. Yeah, firing their whole team, not just that team, another team. Massive layoffs. Insane time, insane tumultuous turmoil time at Tesla. And that's a lot of T's. I have a PowerPoint though that I'm working on, so I don't want to talk about it too much yet. I think I've really charted the course of Tesla's recent year. It has been disastrous, but he's really trying right now with the robotaxi. He's really rabbit out of a hatting. Is Tesla just losing money with Twitter disaster or what? Tesla and Twitter are not connected at all, except for the fact that Elon Musk owns both of them. Well, no, he owns Twitter and is CEO of Tesla. Twitter disaster is bad for Tesla's PR and bad for Elon Musk looking like a normal person, or his veil of, I mean, he used to have this PR facade of being like Tony Stark. And that was really good for all of his startups and products and for Tesla specifically. And Twitter has definitely pierced that veil and caused a good number of consumers to rethink their purchase intention for a Tesla. They're less likely to purchase. And that's dated. That's a fact. And that's just proven. And so that's causing problems. And that is one of the, but the financial part of Twitter is not really dragging down Tesla in any meaningful way. He hasn't sold any more shares or anything. Hey, Truck, I just put $200 in my crypto account. I'm so done with dog coins. What cat coin should I punch? I don't know if you've learned the lesson yet. I'm not sure you've 100% internalized. Feels like you're hearing me, but you're not hearing me, you know? And I would love cat with hat. Cat in hat. Dr. Seuss NFT pack. Hey, Truck, first time chatter, long time VOD frog. What up, dat wacky packy? Funny business story. I'm starting a B2B business to business, and I've been looking at different lead gen strategies. I pitched a company that does lead gen via podcast guests. You pay them, and they make you a podcast host. They handle all the outreach to executives and decision makers. Okay, so it's like a podcast in a box. They create it all for you, and then they'll find you some guests to come on so you can like become a thought leader. It's interesting. It sounds like they charge you a whole hell of a lot. I don't know if they have any guarantee on the quality of the guests they'll find you. It sounds like a bit of a scam, to be honest. I can't imagine that's going to be helpful. I do know there's also you know, let's say you're a business leader and a lot of people want to move into being not just like rich. A lot of rich people want to be thought leaders. They want to like be known for having a deep opinion on their industry. And so the things you can do with like fake podcasts where they'll make you a content piece that looks like you're being interviewed, but you're not. What's the best use of my time for making money? Watch Marketing Monday. Full retention on YouTube, start to finish. That is going to be the best ROI, return on investment, that you're going to get with your time. I can get a job, but that seems kind of boring. I need something thrilling. I want to make 100K or lose everything. It sounds like you want to gamble. It sounds like you already know what you want to do, which is gamble. And you want me to tell you that you can do that. Go ahead, King. It's legal. They are adding gambling to Dave & Buster's, which is, if you guys don't know, Dave & Buster's is like an arcade company where you can go in and drink and play arcade games. They're adding the ability to gamble on those games. By the way, all of those things are rigged, right? So it's like a worse casino and there's kids there. I mean, it is truly a sign of America's descent into a gamble-fi everything. We're turning it all into a slot machine. No shot it's even legal. I mean, you can't do it if you're under 21 or whatever. There's an age limit on it, but it's on the same arcade machines that, like, if a kid is playing on an arcade machine, you can gamble on them, I suppose. They're just saying you can gamble on other people playing, but I don't, like, all the jokes people were making on Twitter was like, you know, killing myself because this dumb kid punted their skee ball throw. You know, just losing your mind because 4 8-year-olds don't get the center skull and skee ball. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but it sounds terrible. I mean, it just sounds really bad. It sounds like a way for people to separate more drunk people from their money, which we don't need more of that. They're losing enough. The mob got to get their hands on Dave & Buster's. I mean, I assume that you can only bet on the win, because otherwise they could throw. It would be so funny to have match fixing in in the hammer game at Dave & Buster's. The pro kid missing his hammer on the gator that comes out for you to make a little extra cash. Is inflation caused by corporate greed a real thing or copium by certain people? I don't see how record profits match with record money printing proof of corporate greed and inflation. there's a nuanced answer here. Some companies are raising prices beyond what the level of inflation is because they felt they could get away with it. These are companies with monopoly power. They don't have a lot of competition. And so they can keep raising prices beyond what monetary printing might cause. However, record profits is not actually proof usually. Usually it's used to slam dunk in these type of conversations. But if you think about it, if each dollar is worth less, if there is inflation, then of course, even if a company stayed the same, they're going to make more dollars. You're naturally going to have more profits. It's naturally just going to go up with inflation. Nominally, you'll have a bigger number, but it doesn't necessarily mean better. And you have to see if it sustains too. Sometimes companies will raise their prices out of greed, and then their consumers will, in shock, pay those prices at first and then search for alternatives. And the company will be over time. You understand? So like maybe you always buy, this is a random example, Skippy peanut butter. Let's say they double their price. Well, maybe for the next few times, your kid loves Skippy or whatever, you buy it, but you're now mad. You are now pissed off at that price and you are searching for alternatives, and eventually you move off and then they see this decline. So I am of the opinion that in a competitive industry, which again, we don't have too many of, there's a lot of monopolization, companies can't just raise their prices out of greed. The reason they set the price at what it was, companies are always greedy. You know what I'm saying? Companies are always greedy. It's not like they became more greedy. They're always greedy. And the price they set originally is because of greed. The reason they set it there is because if they go higher, they'll sell less. So that they can't just like choose a price. They can't just say, oh, this shoe is now $800. And that's fine. You have to deal with it. People will just go elsewhere. So you have to understand that. Like the only times you're going to see above and beyond level of squeezing greed is where a company has true monopoly and no competition. Hey, Big A, could you explain the following to me in dumbed down terms? Isn't Social Security a giant Ponzi scheme? Especially because us folks aren't ever going to see a dime by the time we reach retirement age. I think Ponzi scheme requires a bit more intent. The scheme part, however, you are onto something real here. You are onto something real, which is that the numbers don't add up with the amount of old people we're going to have and the few amount of births. With so few young people being born and so many old people living so long, the numbers don't add up that we can support them at the level of Social Security. So it is kind of like in that way, a Ponzi scheme. And maybe I'll tell you more about it on Iceberg sometime. They make this Twitch Prime stuff hard to use these days, do they? Has Prime been harder to use? I mean, I do know from the Twitch POV, they hate that they have to love Prime. Prime is so entrenched into Twitch culture and keeping streamers happy, but they hate it because it's really expensive, and as clearly, like even from when I was there, there's just so much evidence that it doesn't sell a single Amazon Prime subscription. Like everything you add to Prime should help Prime as a package sell more. That's the point. But nobody is going and getting Amazon Prime because of Twitch Prime at all. Or any of the Twitch features. Like they're just free shit being given out on top of what they were already paying for. A 2-day shipping desert man. Yeah, everybody gets Prime for the Amazon reasons. They don't get Prime for the Twitch reasons. And yet somehow Twitch glommed onto it and now is like mission critical that they don't get rid of it. Amazon could eventually do it though. Prime subs do bring in more non-Prime subs. IMO, it normalizes subbing to streamers rather than just donating by a third party. Maybe you could make that case. I mean, I think Primes are an important part of Twitch's ecosystem. Streamers love them. Viewers love them. They do help create like a floor of a certain number of subs that like smaller and mid-tier streamers can count on. So yeah, I mean, it's great. Listen, I think they have to do it, but I know Twitch hates it because the cost is extreme.